The biggest fall event for the Ushiromia family was the family conference in October. But to Jessica, there was another major event that came before that, the school cultural festival. Jessica liked school, believe it or not. To her, it was a place where she could let out the stress she'd built up from the rigid lifestyle she'd been forced to lead at home.
I like it, I'm just not good at it.
For today, it'd be like that, actually. I feel that hard. For today's cultural festival, she formed a group with her friends, and had announced that they'd perform some light music on a temporary stage. She had prepared and practiced for this over and over until today, always anxiously awaiting this day's arrival. But there was one thing that worried her. She looked at the clock. There was still a little time, but she felt uneasy. Would that person really come? After taking a single deep breath, her heart jumped, and all her friends suddenly started speaking in shrill voices.
No way! Hina's boyfriend was so awesome! Isn't he? Rina's boyfriend looks really smart. Is it true the guy wears glasses? No way! My husband will be a pretty boy.
Holy fuck.
Did you deciding this was what you were going to be you?
Yes.
Did you
I had a feeling. That was way too on the spot.
That was really good.
It may not be like this for all girls, but at least at Jessica's school, the cultural festival was basically a boyfriend exhibition.
Fuck.
Jessica didn't have a boyfriend.
Fuck.
She had many friends of the opposite sex, but no special, only one.
We brought the cows to the market, now it's time to bid on them.
But Jessica was a little famous around the school, and everyone thought it'd be natural for her to have a fitting partner. Furthermore, her pride had led her to pretend this was true. She'd somehow managed to keep them fooled until this year, but for various reasons she hadn't been able to escape this year's cultural festival.
Jesse, is your boyfriend here?
What? No, looks like he's not here yet. Maybe he's busy with work.
So what kind of person is he, Jessica? At least give us a hint. What kind of relationship? Awesome. So he's a working man? Will he come in a suit? Of course he'll be wearing glasses, right? Yeah. Hey, he doesn't actually exist, right? If you come clean now, we'll let you join us. Let's try to get through this year's cultural festival.
No. He exists. I told you, he really exists.
Jessica's bitter smile was covered with cold sweat. It was starting to seem doubtful whether she really had deceived her sharp-witted friends.
Okay, then how about making a fake boyfriend and taking him with you?
A fake? Who? I can't think of anyone who'd do that.
Battler.
Shannon's ridiculous plan.
He's not in the
looks
family.
like
Christ, yeah, he's still not in the family right now.
Shit, what is your boyfriend gonna look like?
Yeah, I know that.
Jesus.
Do you bleed? Shannon's ridiculous plan surprised Jessica into hysterics. Even so, it was probably more realistic than the crazy methods running through her head about getting a boyfriend and the big rush before the cultural festival.
For example, what about Kanon-kun?
Kanon-kun? No way. Anyway, I'm sure Kanon-kun has work on the day of the festival, and I don't want to bother him.
Of course, I've already checked the schedule. Kanon-kun has that day off.
Well, why are you always so clever when it comes to stuff like this? No, wait. It'd be even worse if he's off. I can't pull him away from his precious day off just for my own vanity.
If you don't pull Kanon-kun away, he'll always be shut away by himself. So I think it'd be perfect if you could track him out of his shell.
Yeah, you think so? No, but I feel bad.
Then I guess you're out of options. How about meekly confessing to everyone that you don't have a boyfriend?
Got him.
Oh, that hurt from here.
No, that's still Shannon.
True, it may be terribly embarrassing, but you'll have to endure for the short and yet long time before graduation. To a pair of lovers, there's no sweeter honey than the face of a single person with an inferiority complex.
I love that little star there.
Shannon! You aren't really worrying for my sake, are you?
You can do it with the scroll wheel, by the way.
You're teasing me, right?
Jessica wrestled about with Shannon, her eyes teary, but Shannon was unfazed, laughing with her usual smile.
Bitch!
Yes, this is to get you back for making fun of me at George Sum all the time.
Listening to Shannon's comeback, the likes of which didn't happen even once a year, Jessica hugged her cushion and rolled around on her bed, pretending to faint in agony. She couldn't stand Shannon's smile, which looked so triumphant, but right now she was the only person Jessica could talk with. She could choke her to death with her cushion later.
Is it really so bad, milady? It's a cultural festival, but also a chance for you to have fun with Kanon-kun.
No, that may be true, but no.
Jessica buried her head in her favorite pillow to hide the fact that her face had grown bright red. And she grumpily chewed the fingernail on her thumb. It really was a reaction to be appreciated. Shannon and Jessica were about the same age, of the same sex, and friends. And they were both right in the middle of puberty. They could never talk enough about love. That's why they could talk freely about these topics to each other. So Jessica had heard a lot about how Shannon and George's love was progressing. And Shannon had heard a lot about what type Jessica liked, what type of man she might be interested in. Judging by Jessica's reaction, it would probably be rude for us to go into precisely what these things were. However, the story won't get anywhere if we just have Jessica rolling around forever, so let's dive in.
Screaming Jessica voice.
Jessica had been thinking about Kanon ever since he'd showed up. It was extremely rare for young men to visit Rokenjima, so maybe it was natural for Jessica, a girl in puberty, to develop an interest in Kanon.
Yes?
But if anyone said that, it would destroy the romantic ideals of a maiden's pure heart and love at first
I'm
sight.
embarrassed for Jessica.
Shannon had been with Kanon a long time at the orphanage, so she'd known him since before they started working. So Jessica had asked persistently about what his hobbies were, what his favorite food was, what type of girl he liked. Even to Shannon, it was clear that Jessica was infatuated with Kanon.
Come on, isn't this a good chance to take Kanon-kun on a date?
But Kanon might also have someone he likes. So, wouldn't he take it badly if I made him go out with me just to show off?
People who aren't honest with themselves, like you, are what I learned. What was that word I learned from George Sama? That's right. I think it was Sundara.
Shannon, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Apparently, that'll be all the rage in a decade or so.
And I guess George knows this was his Kingzo blood.
Ew, I hate that. Wow, George Nissan sure is incredible managing to foresee future trends like that. Awesome. No, wait. Are you saying I'm living in the wrong decade? I give up! I pull out my own hair.
It took several days of wasted efforts, but in the end, Jessica agreed to the plan of having Kanon pretend to be her boyfriend.
This is so good.
Actually,
This is really good. Oh my
Love
god.
this. The superior pair, actually.
Honestly.
I
God.
feel like I need to fight Shannon.
Yes, milady. Did you call me?
Ooh.
Jessica regretted calling out at such a bad time. Kanon always looked sullen, but he had some bad days and some better days. Unfortunately, this reaction was the former. All that confidence and effort she'd built up practicing in front of a mirror all night was wiped out in about 5 seconds. Jessica turned bright red and hung her head. When he saw that, Kanon sighed. Jessica thought that he was exasperated with her, and her face went pale. I heard from Shannon. This is about having me go with you to the school cultural festival. Right, milady?
Huh? Nice one, Shannon, I mean. Yeah, that's right, but, do you have any plans that day?
I was strictly ordered by Shannon to work especially for you on that day, milady. I've never been to high school, so I don't really understand. But I hear it's a place where girls can be shamed if they don't have a boy with them. And I was given special orders to see to it that the daughter of the Ushiromiya family is in no way inferior to the common people.
Oh, Shannon, I'll beat you to death later.
Jessica kept yelling with a strange voice and a broken smile, like a tea kettle filled with boiling water. As Kanon watched this, he sighed again. Kanon wasn't an idiot either. He fully understood what Jessica intended by inviting him. But to be honest, playing along with Jessica's love game seemed like it'd be nothing more than an annoyance to him. However, Shannon had asked him over and over. He was deeply indebted to her, so he couldn't refuse. And that brooch was in his pocket. Could this strange turn of events have been brought about by the magic power residing in this brooch? Ridiculous. But he remembered what Shannon had said to him that day. Could Shannon see something he couldn't? I don't understand Shannon's feelings. We are furniture, as if we could ever become anything more. It was a truly odd exchange between Jessica, who was still rambling on in a strange voice, and Kanon, who sighed deeply.
I'm having an existential panic attack for Jessica.
So excited.
Boy!
Jesse, someone's here. Didn't you hear?
Yeah, sorry. Who is it? As my friends all gathered together, they were looking this way with hard-to-describe expressions, whispering to each other in small voices that weren't small anymore. My intention to play dumb felt pretty transparent even to me. Did I really just say sorry? Who is it? Like I don't know who just showed up. Ugh. It's useless. It's useless. My mind's going blank. Why does he
No, wait,
look
that's
like
just his
a
boyfriend.
fucking
He's so
Naruto
cute,
character?
isn't he? Wait, he's real? No way. Seriously, Jessica, you traitor. He's incredible. He's younger. I never heard he was younger. Where's Jessica's boyfriend? She's really into little kids.
Boy!
First of all, he's younger. Second of all, he looks like a member of the fucking Ikovsky.
I love that canon outfit so much.
He looks like he's about to go to the
He's
next
the anime
Hokage!
boy!
He's the Hokage!
This bitch is about to fucking pull out some fucking weird jutsus. His hands are about to eat some clay and he's gonna drop a bomb on me. Ah!
I love this.
This is horrible. This is so bad.
It's so good.
I'm having like a panic attack as Jessica right now.
I'm fucking losing it. What the fuck did Shannon do?
Hey! Aren't you late? Oh, fuck.
I didn't know where the entrance was. I must apologize for my tardiness.
Right, that outfit looks real good on you. Oh, he looks so anime.
Shannon said normal clothes wouldn't do, so we went and bought this the other day.
Shit.
Does it look strange on me?
That's not true. Shannon, when I get back, I'll promote you to levels. Oh, I'm gonna kill her.
Feels like everyone here's a girl. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, isn't it? Come on. Let's not hang around here. Let's go to the stage, okay? Cause I'll be up pretty soon. Come on, come on, come on.
Jessica seemed just as uncomfortable. It looked like being bathed and everyone's interested gazes was hard on her. When he saw Jessica's appearance, Kanon thought he might have made things difficult for her by coming. I get the feeling I'm getting in the way. Am I being a burden?
What is the stuff I was called? Told you, no way. Oh my god.
Please tell me at any time if I start getting in the way.
Yeah, no way. He calls. Oh wait, is that Jessica?
No, that's
There's no way you can get in the way. Cannon couldn't.
Oh, that is
Fuck.
Jessica.
Ah!
You got the
Ah,
parentheses.
Pull
up.
Pull back!
Yeah.
Did they start with that?
Yeah, no way. He calls himself Boku.
There's no way you'd get in the way, Kanekun.
Yeah, she calls her boyfriend Kun.
What would you like me to do, milady?
No way. She makes her call her milady like a butler. Oh my god. Oh my god.
OMG.
No, you can call me Milady today.
Is that so? As you wish, Jessica-sama.
Yeah, she's trained him to call her Sama.
So sorry, Kanekun. Could you close your eyes for 3 seconds?
Yeah, a kiss. It's a kiss. She's gonna kiss him.
As you wish.
I'm gonna have a panic attack.
Are you really? Are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I'm like... I'm ready to get... I'm gonna smack on 3, Scott. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, it's to everyone else. By the time Kanon opened his eyes, a horrible tragedy had occurred in the room. Everyone had been driven into the walls, their arms and legs outstretched. Kanon had slipped her brass knuckles back into her pocket before Kanon's eyes opened.
I'm such a badass. Anyway, let's go over to the stage. Our turn's coming up soon, so take a seat and wait for a bit. Cause, we gotta get ready. Go straight to the end here, and you'll see a temporary stage. You'll know where to go. Please wait there.
Jessica just killed like 3 people.
She pushed Kanon's back, as he seemed to be having trouble moving himself, and chased him out. Even though Kanon was confused by Jessica's attitude and her panicky state, which he'd never seen before, he followed her instructions and headed in the direction she had indicated. After seeing him off with an awkward smile, Jessica slammed the door shut and yelled loudly.
There you go. You saw, right? You saw that. Are you happy now? Sucks for you.
I lost the bet. I was sure Jessie didn't have a boyfriend. Are you sure that wasn't her boyfriend? I'll bet she's just abusing one of her servants, right? Jessie's boyfriend's incredible.
Shut up! Come on, let's get ready.
I love Jessica.
Me too.
When Jessica took the brass knuckles out of her pocket again, everyone
beat you.
energetically returned to their tasks.
Jessica stays fucking strapped, actually.
Why is
She keeps that thing
Keep
on.
that thing on.
Why is Kanon dressed like the next Hokage, man? Like, what the
Cause
fuck?
fucking Shannon.
Because he
wants
doesn't know how to wear clothes, actually.
I'm 90% sure Shannon was just like, how do I fuck this over for like fucking Jessica as much as possible?
Also, is this the fucking art room? So it looks like it. that background.
Also,
It's like
holy shit!
Cannon.
How did Shannon not die
Probably
before
just-
before the selection? Like, holy fuck! This
Cannon
is bad.
went down the corridor Jessica had shown him and ran into a temporary stage set up before where the vending machines should have been. It was probably being rented by the hour by some group or club. The ones singing were certain groups, but the crowd was still incredibly excited. Disliking that clatter, he leaned against the wall in the darkness by himself, like an anime boy.
Yeah.
So this is what they call high school. It sure is noisy. That's what Cannon thought. Then he remembered Jessica just now, acting in a way that he'd never seen before. Honestly, she was in such high spirits that alcohol might have been involved. To him, remaining composed and intellectual at all times was the highest virtue. And in that sense, it was very hard for Cannon to get used to the atmosphere of a school cultural festival. He had a responsibility to report everything he saw and heard to the master, so he also had to report about how Jessica had acted without restraint earlier. At the very least, it was not fitting for the daughter of the Ushirimiya head family. The master, Kraus-sama, and especially Natsuhi-sama will probably be angry. If I were to report it in a way that protects Milady, should I blame it on inappropriate school friends? What was all that? So stupid. Cannon thought back on how Jessica had acted earlier inside again. He could understand Natsuhi's headache a little now. Come to think of it, Natsuhi-sama, as the president of the PTA, was supposed to go in to an informal gathering after attending the ceremony in the gymnasium. She said she wouldn't be able to see Milady's performance, didn't she? That's probably for the best. Crowds certainly are unpleasant. What in the world is going on? Several female students keep glancing at me. It seems they're all whispering the same things Milady's school friend said, and it's truly unpleasant. Come to think of it, didn't Shannon warn me? If you walk alone at something like a school festival, you better watch out, because lots of strange people will come to talk to you.
Excuse me, are you by yourself?
Just as expected, a young group of girls I'd never met started talking to me. Their stares started to make my back tingle. Didn't she tell me some magic words that could chase them off at times like this? Sorry, I'm with someone.
Oh, really? I'm sorry.
Ah, it worked. Instant reaction. Well,
I fucking fuck off.
I love
Cannon.
this kid, actually.
Cannon's so bad at interacting with anything alive.
Like,
Well, that got rid of them, but it hasn't really changed the number of people staring at me.
No way, it's that kid that's Jesse's boyfriend? No way, it's that kid. I can't believe it. I was sure he was fake. Isn't he cute? So he's younger, less lucky Jesse.
Huh. There's no way I'll ever come to a place like this again. Cannon sighed for about the zillionth time that day.
Dramatic scene.
When he did, the lighting changed and the standing audience started cheering.
Oh, this is so fucking good, actually.
He looked around and realized that there was suddenly a large group of people there. And unlike earlier, they were mostly guys. With this huge crowd, he couldn't even see the stage.
manlet.
Fortunately, there was a fallen beer case nearby, so he tried using that as a footstool. When he did, he realized that there was now a new group on the stage. Their leader is Milady. She's changed into stage clothes, and she's even holding a guitar. I didn't know she could play. Then again, maybe she can play. I've seen her practicing air guitar before. Natsuhi-sama wouldn't approve of any hobbies outside of study. Maybe she was always practicing in secret. Come to think of it, she's been returning really late from school recently, hasn't she? Maybe she's been practicing at school, far away from Natsuhi-sama's prying eyes. It really is for the best that Natsuhi-sama didn't come. If Milady were to get scolded by Natsuhi-sama after putting so many hours of practice in, she'd probably be dejected.
Jesse-sama!
Oh, I thought that was still. Everyone, thanks for gathering here today!
I could hear Jessica-sama's forceful voice through the speakers. Jessie-sama? Maybe that's her nickname at school. The students in the audience kept calling out that name. I'm a little offended by that crude name. It's inappropriate for Milady. Jessica-sama was in high spirits as they kept shouting Jessie-sama. Everyone here was probably a fan. Her mic performance picked up on that, and electrified them even more. It was almost like a music program on TV. At first, he thought this was all was serious, silly, but that feeling had changed into appreciation. It was incredible in its own way. Cannon never listened to music of his own free will, but he'd often heard the kind of music the Ushirimiya family liked. Since it was almost all classical, Cannon had naturally taken a liking to that kind of music. So to Cannon, the song Jessica sang was, how should you say it? Extremely colorful. In any case, if Natsuhi-sama heard it, she'd probably faint.
Damn.
Fuck, this is so stupid.
She said fuck in that song.
Hi, Jessica.
Who the fuck?
Nani?
Hello. Shit going on.
Are we gonna have like a mini game, like fucking rhythm
Suited
game
pet
challenge?
gun, pet gun.
I have so many fucking questions. Hidden. What the
What was
fuck?
it gotta
These
say?
are like
This is a mini.
this is
Okay.
for like in Japan. That's how like they do like comments on like videos a lot, as they just like show up like
Yeah.
that. But everyone looked like they're having a really good time. Some diehard fans who had even brought pen lights. I sang along and danced crazily with the same movements, almost as though it had been planned ahead. On the stage, Jessica Sama also sang enthusiastically, dripping with sweat. You couldn't find a single element that was appropriate for a daughter of the Ushiramiya family, but it looked like so much fun.
Jesse-sama, Jesse! Fuck, this song actually makes no sense right now.
Is that?
That's Jessica singing. Actually.
Oh yeah, I don't know what this is too.
This
We can figure something out.
Figure out
Again
tempo.
today.
Have fun.
Okay.
Just make it up.
Good thing I'm a fucking musical person and shit. I don't know what this is. Again today, behind me sounds of footsteps. Ushiramiya-sama is stalking me. What? Curses, disappearances, sacrifice, torture. Onikakushi shouts that make a good snack, don't save
I
Marisa.
think this might be like a Higurashi reference.
Yeah.
Because Onikakushi is like the first chapter of Higurashi title.
I know Onikakushi is supposed to be like the god of like that village or whatever.
I feel like that was just about someone being eaten.
Well, that song?
Yeah,
That
was
song
like
was about... Do we want to say
Death.
what it's about?
It's about dumb shit.
cannibalism.
It's about...
Dumb
It's
shit.
about how much she likes flat-chested girls. I'll be honest with you.
What?
It's like a Toho fan song.
It's like a fan song that like the author just wanted to throw in there because he liked it.
But that's what the song's really about.
Yeah.
Good
I'm
job,
not-
Shan. Good job, Jessica.
Okay.
Shan is not her type.
I must not go along with it, but... At any rate, Milady is full of life, and looks like she's having a great time. As I watched Milady enjoying herself, I thought, could this be Ushiramiya Jessica's true nature? Don't I know better than anyone that during her life on Rokenjima she had no choice but to kill her sense of self? So the time she spends, not as Milady, successor to the Ushiramiya family, but as a single girl called Jessica, living life to the fullest, must be very important to her. I've worked close to Milady, seeing her in all seasons, and thought I knew everything about her. But that was all limited to one side of her, the Milady of Rokenjima. We are furniture. We serve on Rokenjima, and end our lives on Rokenjima. So I've come to think of Rokenjima itself as our whole world. As though, like in Ptolemy theory, the ocean spilled off the end of the world into an abyss.
Flat Earth.
But when I look at Milady like this, I can see how
Self-turtles.
horribly narrow that outlook is. I still can't go along with the excitement of the crowd, but I feel like I can see something that cannot be seen on Rokenjima. I'm not sure if this is the unseeable thing Shannon was talking about, but the ocean still doesn't look blue to me. Seagulls cry.
Canon reminds me of like
A
an
robot.
animal that's been like raised in captivity and can no longer be like reintroduced to the wild.
It's fucking sad. Why would you tell me that?
Cause he's like that.
He's a little like that.
He's dumb
That
like that.
one. Wasn't the cultural festival at Jessica's school today? How is the principal doing?
He seemed to be in good health. That's right. Diet member Takamiya was also there. He said to give you his regards.
Busy as usual.
It appeared so. That person is also very energetic. Oh, and I believe President Imoto had also made an appearance.
Naturally, the topic of Jessica's cultural festival came up at dinner. School events often became social gatherings for local volunteers. It was the same for the Ushiramiya family, who were celebrities around here. Natsuhi remembered the name of one VIP after another at that social gathering, telling Kraus the news about them. Jessica didn't really have any interest in that discussion and rudely slurped her pumpkin soup.
Milady, perhaps you ought to take more care with your manners.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Jessica, how many times must I tell you to watch your language?
Yes, Mom.
Ma'am.
Ma'am.
Jessica answered, discouraged. When he saw that, Kraus smiled a little and paused his conversation with Natsuhi. How was the festival for you, Jessica?
Well, it was okay.
I was watching. You did an excellent job.
Well,
Jessica's face turned bright red. She probably hadn't imagined that Natsuki would actually come to see her on stage. She felt a mix of happiness and embarrassment. Actually, she hadn't really wanted her mother to watch since she didn't want to be told that her music was inappropriate for the Uchinomiya family. But it certainly didn't make her unhappy to hear her parents say she'd done a good job after watching her try her best.
Jessica acted with both composure and dignity. Fitting behavior for the student's representative.
I'd rather sing a song about titties. Ah! Oh, yeah.
The smile that had been there until a second ago crumbled like sand. Jessica immediately realized that her mom was talking about something different. Jessica was also the school's student president. She had no interest in doing something so annoying, but her parents had been pushy, so she grudgingly accepted. Unfortunately, she was popular at school, so she won the election easily. So Natsuki was praising her for the student council sponsorship ceremony at the beginning of the cultural festival. Actually, she had just carried that out half-heartedly. After that, she immediately met up with her friends and held a stage rehearsal for the rest of the time.
That experience of standing above people and bearing responsibility will surely prove useful in the future. I'm sure it will help Jessica mature as a member of the Uchinomiya family. Oh, that was gross.
Oh, that experience of standing above people and bearing responsibility will surely prove useful in the future. I'm sure it will help Jessica mature as a member of the Uchinomiya family.
But you rushed a little while giving the greeting. You get to pass on content, but the fast pace of your speech lessened the impact. It might help if you develop the habit of pausing every once in a while.
Yeah. Why is my family like this? Oh, God.
They'd be like that. After she finished eating, Jessica didn't feel like going straight to her room. Her room was basically the place her parents had ordered her to be. So perhaps for Jessica, instead of returning to her own room, being in an unknown location in this large mansion was a meager form of resistance.
Kinto's study.
Jesus.
She's just chilling in there.
You are not allowed in this room! Jessica felt that even being in the mansion made it hard to breathe, so she went outside to the rose garden.
Well, even if she did show up, I'm sure she would have said something about how I wasn't appropriate for a successor of the Uchinomiya family. So, isn't it better this way?
Jessica laughed at what she was sulking over. She laughed at what kind of words she could possibly have been expecting.
That was dumb of me. In the end, I was just acting like an entitled brat. I'm a little exasperated with myself, and it makes me want to laugh.
Milady.
What? Ah, Canny-kun. Don't scare me like that. Jesus.
Just as she was about to force a laugh, Cannon suddenly started talking to her, and she choked.
What's up? Got something to say? Yes?
Jessica's expression became the one she always wore when looking at Cannon. The listless Jessica from a second ago was gone. If he had still only known Jessica as the eventual successor to the Uchinomiya family as he had until yesterday, he might have mistakenly thought that Jessica's mood had sprung back to normal. But that wasn't right. He now knew a part of her that he couldn't have seen until yesterday. So he understood that there was no way Jessica actually felt the way she appeared. Oh, that's Jessica.
Oh. About today's cultural festival. Well, thanks for coming with me so I could show off. You saved me my butt out there.
That song. You were really good.
What? Really, you're embarrassing me.
Even though she heard the words she most wanted to hear, Jessica acted shyly and couldn't accept them openly. I cannot sing, and I don't know how to play any instruments other than the harmonica and the recorder, which I learned in elementary school. So I simply assumed you were the same, milady. At the time, Cannon had never felt as though he'd been looking down on Jessica in this way, but all the people he'd seen playing special instruments were on the other side of the bronze tubes in the TV. At the very least, he'd been under the impression that it'd be impossible for Jessica. I am furniture, so I didn't believe there was any need to sing or play instruments. But I'm not sure anymore.
Seriously, Cannon-kun, enough with all that I'm furniture business. That's like a proper attitude you servants are supposed to have, right? Servants are supposed to be like living furniture. Genji-san says that a lot.
It isn't just a proper attitude, because we really are furniture.
Who the fuck?
It's a state of mind.
I know the kids from the Fukuin house receive assistance from grandfather in various ways, and I realize how grateful you are for that. It's a bit cruel for you to have to call yourself furniture, don't you think? Just because of that? We're all human, aren't we? Kanon-kun, when you saw me singing, what do you think?
It looked like you were having a lot of fun.
I don't think that's true.
Huh?
You didn't just think it looked fun. You were envious, weren't you?
That's not. Kanon probably hadn't noticed that emotion himself. Most likely, Kanon saw something he'd never seen before, learned about it for the first time, and felt envious. And to trick himself out of that emotion, he called himself furniture over and over.
I know I'm a successor to the Ushiromi family or whatever. And, well, I'm sure there'll be a lot of annoying stuff to do from now on. As far as that goes, I can't do anything about giving up since I was born under an unlucky star. Probably just like you have to live at the Fukuin house. I don't have a choice either. I couldn't choose the stars under which I was born.
That may be true.
But there's one place where you and I are completely different. You know what that is?
I am furniture, and Milady is not. He was about to say that, but stopped. I do not know.
Kanon-kun, you decided that your fate determines everything about you, and you gave up. But I can't accept this kind of fate, so I do the best I can. So while there's still the rigid and cornered me that's gotta stay as the daughter of the Ushiromi family, I've created another me that can do what I like to do to the fullest.
Another you.
Yeah. Kanon-kun, you've been instructed to say, because I'm furniture. I'm sure you've gone through a lot of tough times just because of that. I think that's really unfortunate. But the idea that your entire life will be decided by that alone just seems sad to me. You know, it's always possible for people to create another self inside of them. A self that they can truly grow to like. I'm not talking about escaping from reality, okay? When I'm that other self, I can really feel like I'm living a great life. So, no matter how constrained and boring everyday life gets to be, I can always live on without suffocating.
To make another self inside yourself that you can truly grow to like. To make another me, one that isn't furniture. Through her relationship with George-sama, has Shannon given birth to another self that isn't furniture? And did this other Shannon see something that cannot be seen by furniture?
That's right. Well, I don't know anything about your private life, Kanon-kun, but I can sort of guess. Your private life probably doesn't it doesn't exist at all. Am I right?
Kanon couldn't reply, but that was answer enough. He had no concept of a private life. So Kanon would always be Kanon. So furniture would always be furniture.
Kanon-kun. Kanon. It isn't your real name, right?
In the Fukuin house, new graduates would be given new families and a new life, so they were also given a new name. In his case, that was Kanon. Certainly, this name of mine may be a temporary thing. Before, he had thought of himself as Kanon and no one else. But he remembered. There definitely had been another self that wasn't Kanon. But that was far, far away, beyond the distant fog of oblivion.
So, even for you, it should be okay to have times when you're Kanon-kun and times when you aren't. Maybe when you act as a servant, that Kanon-kun calls himself furniture and strictly limits his own will. But when you aren't Kanon-kun, I think it's okay to live much, much more freely.
Those words definitely weren't just lip service. Jessica had also been like this in the past. She had cursed her own birth into an environment different from all of her friends at school. Only she had been in a heavily constricted environment, forced to learn all sorts of things. And she had even been told whom she was and wasn't allowed to play with. It may have been sad, but she'd given up, resigning herself to the fact that she'd been born under that kind of star. But one day, Jessica stopped giving up and surrendering. Stuff like the Uchiramiya family customs and pressure didn't matter. She created a real Jessica inside herself, one who could do what she really wanted to do.
You know, I go by the nickname Jessie at school. When I'm Jessie, I live life honestly and to the fullest. And because of that, I can do my best whenever I'm Jessica too. Would it really be so bad if you could also have times when you're canon and times when you're your real name? When you aren't canon, can't you just try becoming another self that you can like?
A time when I am not canon. He'd once thought of his real name as being completely meaningless. Because of that, he thought that canon summed up everything about him. And now Jessica was telling him to create something new, another self that wasn't canon.
Canon's not canon?
But canon's kind of canon.
Canon is not red text. Canon Queen, you don't mind telling me, what's your real name?
He was silent for quite some time. Maybe Canon's real name had risen to the tip of his tongue. After hesitating for a long time on whether he should say it, in the end, he swallowed it back down. I forgot. My name doesn't matter anymore. Those words contain a faint rejection. No matter what kind of real name I had, the only truth now is that here, I am canon. The past has nothing to do with anything. The materials with which furniture is made, be it a trunk of a tree or otherwise, are meaningless in the end.
I told you to stop that. You aren't furniture, you're human, right?
I am not human! Canon clearly voiced his refusal. It was with a rage that he normally didn't show. Jessica couldn't say anything back and was struck silent. You are human, milady, so you're free to live any way you please, and any kind of future is possible for you. It's almost like you have wings and can dance through the sky like a bird. But I am not like that. Even if I looked like a bird, I'd be nothing more than a domestic duck. Even though they have wings, they cannot fly. To speak of me of that dream in the sky despite that, it's just too cruel.
Furniture and ducks. What the hell is all this? No.
Jessica had unconsciously gone along with Canon's forceful manner of speaking, but she realized that she shouldn't fire back and swallowed her words.
I don't know anything about you. I don't even know your upbringing, and I don't know the hardships you've been through. So I can't even imagine why you started calling yourself furniture. But know this, you aren't furniture or a duck. You're a real human. If you want to say Kaneku's furniture when he's working as a servant, that's fine. But in that case, don't you think you can create a self for you for when you aren't furniture? For when you're human?
Only a human like Milady can embrace that possibility. I am not like that. I have no future, no possibilities, no dream that I'm allowed to see. So, Milady, please don't say any more cruel things.
There's gonna be a point where he retires.
I mean, like, how old is Genji?
How old is Genji?
I mean, like,
Genji
they say that the
chooses
turnover rates are usually pretty, like...
Yeah, but that's like outside
Often.
work. These guys are Fukuin
No,
House.
the
These
other
guys...
people are Fukuin House too.
No, they aren't.
No,
Not all
it'll
of them.
just Shannon, Cannon, and anyone with on at the end.
Oh yeah, but the other one, what's her name? The one that was like...
Kumasawa?
Mansion?
No, the one that was like...
Oh, Lunan.
Lunan, yeah.
Yeah, but we don't know who
Like,
the fuck that is.
They can just get their own jobs. Like somewhere else, they can just be like,
I mean, like...
out. And just being a bitch.
But you don't know if, like, they had the one-winged eagle that Kinzo gave them.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
Why do you say stuff like that?
Because it seems you mistakenly think that I'm a human, the same as you, milady. We are different sorts of beings. I just wanted to make that clear. I heard from Shannon. Something about milady liking me.
What? No.
I look almost identical to a human. So, like Shannon, I could probably delude myself into thinking I'm human, and pretend to love for a time. But then, I would surely be fooling myself. No, I would be fooling you too, milady. Shannon and George Sama will definitely fall apart. Even though Shannon herself probably realizes that day will come, She's taking part in such a stupid...
There's nothing stupid about it. Sure, George Nissan's a wonderful person, and he's gonna match up with his parents' expectations. I'm sure when it comes to marriage, Aunt Ava will interfere in various ways, and I think their future prospects look like they'll be full of trouble, okay? But you know what? George Nissan isn't the kind of guy who'll surrender to that shit. Shannon's no Juliet, and he'll definitely bring her happiness. People cannot...
Oh, that's me.
No.
People cannot engage in romance with furniture. What I'm trying to say is that even if you can love furniture, I cannot love you, milady. Those words of Canon's crushed all of Jessica's bittersweet feelings from that day. There was no way her emotions could have predicted that she'd be refused so bluntly. In an instant, she lost the willpower that had led her to try and unravel something stubborn in Canon's heart. And before she knew it, she was just standing there in shock. Milady, if your feelings for me were due to my conceit, then I must ask that you forgive me.
Oh, well, I won't deny that.
Thank you very much.
Huh?
Thank you very much for thinking of me as a human. Those feelings alone really do make me happy. Anything more would be too cruel for me, so...
No, I've said enough. Sorry about that.
Jessica recklessly scratched at her head and spoke, trying to force her voice to sound bright.
I just kind of ran on after by myself and was a burden on you. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry for causing so much trouble on your precious day off.
No, I was also happy that I could see you having fun.
Then, let's call it a night. If I don't go back to my room and turn off the lights, Mom will get mad at me again.
That's probably for the best.
Oh, dear.
I wish you a good night, milady.
Yeah. Good night.
Canon saw Jessica trot away with her back to him, looking disheartened. But then she suddenly broke into a reckless dash and disappeared in the direction of the mansion. As he watched her back, for just an instant, Canon was tormented by the feeling that he just made a huge mistake.
'Cause you did, bitch.
But he hadn't made a mistake at all. He had been forced to refuse her now for her sake, while the pain was still at its smallest. Oh, man.
Nice going, making a woman cry like that. I didn't expect you to refuse her that strongly. If you'd given a normal answer, another pair of lovers would have been born thanks to my magic.
How long have you been there? What a horrible person. When he turned around, the witch was suddenly there. It looked like she'd been there the whole time, watching the two of them as though enjoying a play.
I shall forgive you for your insults just this once in difference to that amusing little show. Even after 1,000 years, no more interesting shows exist than complications between boys and girls. To me, it's a pleasure. That's better than more addictive than opium.
Canon pulled the butterfly brooch out of his pocket. It was the manifestation of the great magic the witch had bestowed. Without hesitation, Canon slammed it against the ground and stomped on it.
Oh, what is the meaning of this? You know that was given by me?
Just now, I figured it out. What you're doing isn't as tasteful as being a cupid of love. You're just a demon who enjoys showing love to those who can never be together, deceiving them.
You are free to think that. Most humans I lend my power to say that same thing.
Don't play dumb! You didn't lend Shannon your power because you felt sorry for her. You found a weak point in Shannon's heart as her chest burned with love, and you made her break the mirror that sealed you. What's more, you guessed how this would all end, and now you're toying with her! Am I wrong?
Furniture has a
Thoroughly?
thoroughly pitiful existence. So you have no dreams, no future, and even no love? Good. There's nothing better than knowing your place. As you noticed, there was a faint love residing in Jessica's heart. You seem to think you snipped it into the bud. But did you know? Trees grow thicker branches if you thin out and prune them. A girl who loves furniture, is it? Amusing, how truly amusing! Shannon and George will always eventually reach a stalemate with their unfulfillable love ripening into the sort of large fruit I love. Regretfully, it seems to be going on so smoothly for those two that it's hardly entertaining anymore. But on the plus side, it seems the two of you will amuse me to no end.
The witch laughed. Even though she had known the two could never be together, she had lent them magic to bring them together. However, they couldn't escape the fate that prevented them from ever being truly joined. The witch knew that. Even if they were joined, Shannon and George, Kanon and Jessica would eventually break up. What is that? Okay. Yeah, also my laptop hasn't been charging. Oh, now it is, I guess. Earlier I checked and it was not. And I was going to try and fix it, but I couldn't.
Electromagnetic interference.
They would wander through an endless desert in this hell of love, tormented by an eternal thirst.
Me like that.
Eternal thirst.
What? Did you think I'd lend you my power and ask for nothing in exchange? I'll gladly assist a pair of love. And in exchange, I'll enjoy watching the cruel fate they'll eventually meet. I have never come across a better show, not over the course of 1,000 years. Just look at Kinzo! See how he ended up? An old, pitiful man who learned the taste of love before being thrown out of paradise? Look at how he lives, like a dead man that cannot fully die!
You truly are a witch. Disappear! Get out of my sight, demon!
Oh, I would disappear even without your prompting. My power still hasn't returned. It is still tiring to continue showing myself. I overdid it when I gave you lovers my power. As I am now, it will not be easy to maintain that power without that brooch as a catalyst.
Kanon ground his foot even more into the stomped brooch. He felt it break under his foot. Then it evaporated like water, and changed into butterflies that sparkled gold, fluttering out from beneath Kanon's foot.
Maintaining this form is quite painful for me as well. I will hide myself for a time, just as you desire. My magical power will rise as surely as the moon and the tides. And eventually, a fitting time will come for my revival. I know not in the slightest whether that will be tomorrow, next year, or even 100 or 1,000 years in the future. But as long as there are those who entertain me, I will surely gain power and revive. I will disappear for a short while. Until that time comes. The bruises on the palms of your hand is already gone, so if you wish tomorrow morning, you can let my existence vanish, like an illusion or a dream. After all, nothing saddens me more than being forgotten. However, I will surely be revived. Be on your guard, so that you will not regret that day's coming when it arrives. I will surely have my second coming, and rule over everything, as this land's true master. That is the time when the door to the Golden Land will be opened again. The greedy dead will surely waken me.
You talk too much. Disappear now, Golden Witch.
Literally begone thought.
And there she goes. I like that PowerPoint slide transition she goes into when she finishes.
The witch became a cloud of gold butterflies and scattered away, leaving behind a scornful laugh. The whole area sparkled like a gold blizzard in a snow globe. It was a fleeting, fantastical scene that disappeared in a heartbeat. The witch could no longer be seen. However, Kanon felt like he could still hear that shrill, unpleasant laugh.
How amusing! How truly amusing! Why is the human world still so amusing after all the years I've been away? Go mad with love. Go mad with gold. Those who don't go mad from one of the two are not human. I see. That's why the word furniture's so fitting. Furniture's created to serve humans. And I cruelly treat humans as playthings to state my 1,000 years of boredom. What a truly amusing three-way deadlock! That I cannot control furniture. Kinzo, you fool! What a truly entertaining scheme you've worked up! Furniture, you fools! Just you try and see if you can fell me. Tonight, 2 seeds of love have been sown, including the one already sown. That makes 3!
Beatrice, why did you leave me alone in this painful world? I hate you. I will hate you for all eternity for not even trying to answer despite being yearned for so.
Master, drinking any more will be damaging to your health. Dr. Nanjo warned you as well, did he not?
Be silent, Genji! You do not understand my grief and sadness. And I believe at least you, my oldest friend, would understand my pain. Why can you not understand? Oh, Beatrice! Why did you leave me all alone?
SMH my head.
What the hell do you mean, furniture? I don't get it.
Oh, poor Jessica-sama. Even though the cries I hear coming from your room tell me of the situation, there's nothing I can do. This is all a tragedy due to a pair who are too young, getting too close, when the positions of their birth are too distant. I can do nothing but understand my lady's feelings, hide my footsteps, and quickly walk away.
What? What do you mean by that, George-san?
I mean what I said. I still haven't built up my castle. Once I manage to do that, I'll finally be able to think of myself as an adult. When that happens, I want to marry you.
That's,
But my heart won't let me do that anymore. So I want to give you an engagement ring.
Engagement, you say? But, furniture.
Oh, right, that. Well then, we're just to listen to what people say, right? Wink. Right now, I'm having a ring made that'll be fitting for you. I think it'll be ready in time for me to bring it to the upcoming family conference. I'll give it to you then, so please, I want you to let me hear your answer. If you accept, then I'll proclaim our engagement right there, in front of all the relatives, including grandfather.
George-san.
I'm sure some people won't approve of our relationship. But there's no need to look at their faces. Because you only have to fill your eyes with me.
Romantic.
I hate him. I will definitely bring you happiness. That's the one thing I can promise you will with certainty. I hate George. I just can't see.
Wait.
I bit my tongue right after I
I mean,
said.
honestly, you're not lying though. You can't see at all.
I literally said I can't, and then I bit the back of my tongue really hard.
I'm sorry.
Ah. You can't see either, bitch. You got glasses
Fuck, the
too.
song's so
Yeah.
I just can't wait to see how it will ripen. The golden butterflies do not swoop upon the juice of over-ripened and rotten fruit. I cannot wait for the day of harvest to come. Is the time of the banquet here yet?
fun.
Oh my god.
Shit be lit.